What volume do you mix at? You know, it's totally natural and normal to slowly start cranking up that volume knob as you go through the mix process, because it not only feels good, but it sounds good too. But you could be tricking yourself into believing that your mix is actually a lot better than it really is. Let's dive straight in. So I wonder if you've had this experience too. When I was younger, in and out of a lot of pro studios as a musician, going in with bands, we'd have a great day, we'd record a track or two, and we'd invariably go and have a break, or we'd come in the next day, and the engineer would pull up a mix that he'd been working on, and he'd crank it super loud. It would sound absolutely incredible. Me and the band would start buzzing and getting super excited. The room would be like vibrating, and you could feel the mix. And it just sounded awesome. And we'd go away, we'd have, back in the day, maybe a tape or a CD that we'd go away with to put in the car. We'd be driving home, we'd put it on in the car, and it sounded flat and underwhelming, and we all felt a bit cheated and ripped off. So why did that happen? Well, it's a bit of an old cheeky engineer's trick really, of simply just cranking it up loud. It hypes the highs and the lows, and it simply feels and sounds good to the listener. It gives you a false sense that the mix is actually a lot better than it really is. It's a cheap trick. It's not very fair, but it happens. But here's the thing, you just want to make sure that you're not tricking yourself in your home studio into believing that your mixes are better than they are by cranking things louder than they need to be. And it is actually harder to avoid than it sounds, because we naturally like to start turning things up. We naturally want to hear it loud because it feels good and it sounds good. So here's a rule that I try to stick to when I'm mixing. I call it the TV volume rule. And I try to keep my mixes around the volume that the TV would be in a room when I watch TV, say in the evenings. So it's a level which I could comfortably talk over, but it's also comfortably audible. That's a great level too, to be referencing your mix, so you're getting a really good, honest representation of what that mix sounds like. I've also got another neat trick. For that, I need to jump inside the DAW. So here's a really neat trick that I like to do from time to time when I'm working on a mix. It's a great way to reset yourself as you're working through a mix. It's also, if you found the volume in your home studio has been creeping up, this is a great little move to do. So I'm going to demonstrate it by just hopping on the master fader here, but you can just do this with the volume knob that's on your in audio interface. And what I'm listening out for is three elements that are still coming through the mix despite really low levels. Crucially, the vocals, and then the kick and the snare. So those three pillars I want to be coming through and still kicking through the mix, even at low levels. If one of those starts to disappear, then I may want to address that in my mix. Other elements may drop out that aren't as important, but these three I really want to make sure are punching through, because the kick, the snare, and the vocals are my pillars of the mix. So let's hop on the master fader here and start turning this mix down. Because you know they're scared, and though you cannot blame them, you've begun to care. As they pull you over drinking in the street, there's a riot around the corner with a target to meet. Who's these guys? Community comes, gangs and knives will make it stop. Someone please free the beast. I know we got life, Who's these guys? Community comes. So I'm happy with that. I could still hear the kick and the snare, and for me, super crucially, the vocals are coming through. Could hear every word. Nothing felt like it was getting buried in the mix. Yeah, it's a great little technique to do from time to time, just to also reset yourself and also check where your mix is at. I've got a free 7 steps mix method guide, so you can start mixing smarter from your home studio right now. The link for that is below this video. If you want to take your mixes and productions from your home studio to the next level, I've also got a whole bunch of awesome courses for you. The link, once again, is below this video. I'm going to give you 10% off those right now with coupon code YouTube10. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe here on YouTube. Most importantly, my friend, go and have yourself a great day.